Yeah, I know, I know. I'm having fun here. Things are just not playing according to the way it should be playing. So let me go from. Oh, thank you. Oh, goodness me. Well, it's an exciting day today. I've got one microphone working and the other one doesn't, and my sound box that I had set up isn't working great as well, so we'll have to figure that one out. Anyway, here we are today. Welcome aboard. It's 12 days, 23 hours, 49 minutes, and whatever seconds, but who's counting? Yes, folks, we're looking at going on another cruise. What can I say? And it's going on the Grand Princess. Yes, this is going to be the first session that I'm going to have with Mum and Dad on on their very first cruise. What can I say? There we go. Okay, that's what we can say to them. But you know what? I got a phone call to say that somebody who was going to join us on the cruise isn't going to. But the good news is they're going to be joining us when we go on to the Celebrity Edge at the end of 2024, starting of 2025. So that's going to be really exciting. Anyway, folks, let's get into the chat. Let's say hello to some people. Good evening to Crystal from Destinations Delight. Good evening to you. Good morning to you. We've got Nick there, Bidet. I'm thankful for the American time change last weekend. You're now on again at 4 a.m. my time. And mate, that's not going to be very long because then we'll be on at 5 a.m. your time. So there we go. It'll be fun. G'day, Busby. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. And Clocky, my mate. How you going, Clocky? Good to have you on board, buddy. Then we got a couple of people saying g'day to each other, which is awesome. Now, you know what, folks? I was having a chat with some of the people who are currently on the Carnival Pride, and they were saying that they're having a great time, particularly with the recipients on board. So everything is going swimmingly for them, so that's an exciting thing. So having said that, our next move is we've got our family cruise happening in 12 days, 23 hours and 48 minutes, but again, who's counting? And the reason why I'm doing it like this is because I know that Mum and Dad are listening in. They may not be in the chat right now, but they are listening in, and I tell you what, they are beside themselves. They have been beside themselves for the last 3 days, and I can understand why, because we finalised all their documentation, getting everything set for the cruise. So absolutely looking forward to it like you wouldn't believe. Excuse me, like you wouldn't believe. But also added to the countdown, we have a cruise coming up in 661 days, which will be the Ducks, the Down Under Cruises group cruise. And that's for anybody who is willing to come down to our part of the world and go on the cruise with us. Well, 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 if it isn't the glorious Najuma Brown. Welcome aboard, young lady. How are you? Nice to have you here. I have not been behaving myself. I've been doing these live streams all by my lonesome. Where have you been? Now, don't complain. It's too early in the morning. Don't complain. I know you sleep as much as I do. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to have you here, Najuma. Always happy to have you on board. So, yes, we've got the Down Under Cruises group cruise happening on the 2nd of January 2025. And I've actually got to do a proper sale thing. I won't actually play the full thing today. I might play a bit of it later on, but tell you a little bit about that. But let me get on to the cruise that I've got in 12 days, 23 hours, and 47 minutes. There's a theme here, guys. You know that. So here's what we're looking at. We're looking at going on the Grand Princess. We're being picked up by a limo, taken to Station Pier, which is where the Grand Princess is. We will check on with Mum and Dad And then once we're in on the ship, we will be doing the sail away, and that sail away will take us overnight to a place called Eden. We will be then spending the day in Eden, and then jump on the ship, and it will be taking us another day to get up to Sydney, where we will disembark on the 31st of March in Sydney. We'll be spending the night there, and guess what? April Fool's Day. Yeah, April Fool's, I know, the 1st of April, is the day we'll be flying home. So we're going to be spending some awesome time there, and it's going to be great. Really awesome. Okay, so Nick, I'm working basically every day of the week, but it's all good knowing my trip to Australia is in my future 433 days. Well, Nick's going to be doing an exciting trip, because what he's going to be doing is he's going to come into Brisbane, either fly or train it down from Brisbane to Sydney, to Darwin, I believe. He's taking the GAN, which is going from Darwin down to Adelaide. That's a train, folks. Goes right down the centre of Australia. He will then be going to, now I can't remember which way. I think you'll be going from Adelaide to Perth, and then from Perth you'll be training across the Indian Express, which goes from Perth to Sydney. And that is going to be another amazing trip. All those are multiple days on board one train. Well, not one train. One train going from Darwin to Adelaide, that's the GAN, and then another train going from Perth to Sydney. All going right through the centre of Australia. So he's going to be having an absolute ball. Saying good day to Najuma. So you're going Melbourne to Adelaide, Adelaide to Darwin, Perth to Sydney. Okay, I'm sorry. You changed your flights then, because you said you were going to fly into Brisbane, but now I think you're flying into Melbourne. Is that correct? If you do, it's awesome. You're gonna have an awesome time. I mean, training is brilliant here in Australia. So there we go. Okay, so having said that, got all those nitty gritties out of the way, folks, you might want to fill us in with some of the things that you're planning today. Chris is saying, have an awesome daylight, everyone in Helping Hands for Cruising. A day night. Oh yeah, thank you. We will. Are you going to bed? Are you pulling the pin on us? Is that your modus operandi, Chris? Clocky is saying, wishing Chris well, so hopefully he has a good day night as well. But okay, Clocky, I'll drink to you, mate. Oh, I needed that. The things you do, Clocky, the way you make me feel sometimes, mate. Oh, that sounded so wrong. Seriously, that sounded so wrong. How's the new job anyway? Are you enjoying it? Is everything working well? Are you putting the dollars together so that you can join us on the group cruise when it happens? I hope you can. Because it's going to be real fun. Real fun. Clocky's saying you just changed chat. Oh, sorry, mate. Didn't mean to do that to you. Chris, yes, sir, Sean. My modus operandi, whatever you said, is rest very soon. So you can't speak French. Well, that's actually Latin. Modus operandi. Your reason for doing things. Alright, Nick is saying he's flying into Brisbane and probably flying into Melbourne, saving time by flying the first couple. Then after that, the GAN drops me in Darwin, and he'll definitely hop a flight from Darwin to Perth. That's probably the closest way of doing it. Clocky's saying it's okay, he finished the one doing night shift, now back on days. What? Clocky, the way you change your shifts is like It used to be when I was in computers. 1 week this week, 1 week that week. Thank God I'm not doing that anymore. So Chris is saying Nick, Najuma, Clocky, and everyone lurking. Yeah, go on. What's the next statement? I'm waiting. You've only half finished the sentence. All right, I'll wait a bit more. So, anyway, for those that might be interested, let's have a look. I think I will share a. Oh, Busby saying g'day. Okay, I get it. I think I will share, if I can. Um, if I can, I will share a particular video with you guys. Let's just see if I can get it on. Carousers. And here we go, folks. Let's try this and see how we go. Yes, well, folks, what can I say? I mean, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic cruise. We're just going to be spending time, it's a whole 15 nights, 14 days, looking at the South Pacific and just having an absolute ball. What can I say? We've got, okay, Chris was saying g'day. Sorry, g'day. I had to explain that. Nick is saying, yeah, the GAN and the Indian Pacific are luxury trains. Yes, they are. They cost approximately $2,000 United States, 2,000 US. So it's about, yeah, that's about right, 4 to 5 grand. I love they do get off the train. They do off the train excursions along the way. And you're going to get to see some amazing stuff when you actually do those excursions, let me say, Nick. Lorraine, welcome aboard, Lorraine. Nice to have you here. And Clocky's saying g'day to the world. Even to Lorraine, and Lorraine saying g'day back. And Chris, you're right. Lorraine is late, but you know what? She's here. What can I say? I am late, she's saying, and she's here. The bad news is she can't sleep. Well, you're not allowed to be like that. You can't have that problem. It's only people like me who have that problem. So there we go. At any rate, you are here. So nice to have you on board. So yes, so anybody who wants to be joining us on that cruise, please come along. We will be spending some awesome time together. In fact, Ilana has almost worked out that she's actually going to be um, organising a an excursion in Suva, Fiji. And the reason why she's going to do that is because that's where she spent a bit of her life. So she knows the place, and so she's going to organise for us to have an amazing excursion there. I know some of the places she's going to be taking us to. Chris is saying, Sean, it's not United States dollars, it's USD. Well, USD is United States dollars, Chris, unless you're meaning AUD, in which case it's Australian dollars, which, yeah, what can I say? Anyway, I'll go on. Lorraine is saying, I wish, Sean, you can have my share of insomnia. Lorraine, I already do. Between my mother and I, we both share similar insomnias. What can I say? She doesn't sleep either. G'day, Lorraine, and Busby and Clocky from Najuma. So that's awesome. Okay, so we have a cruise coming up. So the one that's local. Now, by the way, anybody coming to cruise in Australia right now, you will need what we call the ETA, which is the visas to get into Australia. Um, we're not sure whether or not, and it would be advisable that you check with your TAs or whatever. Actually, if you check with Crystal, because she's the TA for that cruise. Um, but if you're coming in from across the pond, um, you may or may not need visas for Fiji, Vanuatu, New Caledonia. You just need to get that checked out. But you do need one to come into Australia. Nick is saying he can't book his flights till August. Excuse me. At the earliest, probably luckily he has $700 in Delta flight credit, so he has to book by the end of the year. They fly twice daily between LA and Sydney. That's correct. And Delta, I believe, also fly into Brisbane, and I think they're flying to Melbourne as well. But I know that Delta do at least a couple of flights a day, bound Australia bound into Sydney. We know United flies into Melbourne as well. Lorraine, I am stealing Lola's passport to go on the 2020. Oh my God. Oh my God. If Lola was to come on that cruise, let me tell you. Oh, jeez. I feel sorry for Crystal if Lola comes aboard. Because nobody's going to leave Lola alone, and Crystal's going to be having to share the cabin with her. So I feel so sorry for Crystal, really. That's if Crystal comes along, that is. Well, you never know. Stranger things could happen. Lola could. Whatever. I'm not going down that path. Uh, oh, Lola is coming, so it's a foregone conclusion. You found out. Well, that'll make it a really interesting trip. I really think so. It's going to be exciting. Lola on the cruise. Oh boy, can you imagine? I can imagine just what is going to happen. There's going to be so many things going on board. It'd be so funny. Oh well, there it is. It is what it is. Okay, so Lorraine is saying guaranteed. How do you know? Lola didn't tell me, or rather, Crystal didn't tell me, and it's not in the Lola's not in the group cruise Facebook page. Oh yes, anybody who's going on the group cruise joins the Facebook page, and when we get closer to the time, we will be having a Zoom session with everybody who's coming on the cruise so that we can bring up some decent chat. Oh, Lorraine says she knows everything. Okay. Chris, if Lola goes aboard, then she will probably have the see-through bikini and the avocados. No, it's the upside-down pineapples, mate. The see-through bikini with the upside-down pineapples. She has the avocado in a specific spot. I know that spot. I've seen it once before. Um, yeah. Okay, shut up, Sean. Nick is saying Delta only goes to Sydney. United flies to Brisbane, but it's all good. I'm just saving all of my paperwork for applying for the um, ETA visa to show genuine tourism intentions. Awesome. That's great. Just getting into Australia is all that matters. You're right. You'll get in. It's no worries. You're only going to be here on a cruise. You've got tickets booked for things. So yeah, I mean, not a ship cruise, a train cruise. So you've got tickets booked for things. So you're going to have a good time. And maybe if we're lucky enough, we'll get to see you and we can take you down for some spaghetti ice. I mean, spaghetti ice. So there we go. Half the fun, my friends. Half the fun. Um, so, I believe that. Oh, there we go. Philip Rackman has been there. Hi, Sean. I have been at a business expo last 2 days. You would not believe how many freebies he got. 100 pens, high quality water bottles, coffee cups, Jenga mouse pads, and chocolates. Um, Mate, do you think I can get any of those bottles, or are you just going to be greedy and keep them all? Nick is saying g'day to Philip. He also had cocktail parties. Oh yeah. So which tales did you? No, shut up, Sean. You're going to lead Philip down the wrong path, and we don't want that. Chris, Sean, I enjoy watching your lives, truly, but I must get some rest. It takes a lot of beauty sleep to make my face look so young. Mate, I'm surprised you haven't been sleeping all day because the amount of work your sleep needs. Sorry. Mate, thanks for popping in. You have a very pleasant evening. Have a good rest, and hopefully your day tomorrow will be, or later on, will be an awesome day. Thank you so much, mate. You take it easy, and thanks for popping in. All right. Now that he's gone, let's talk about him. Good night from Lorraine to Chris. Um, don't you love it? But sometimes when you do things, when you do things, technical issues fall in your way. So I've got to sort some things out for the weekend. So we'll see how we go. Oh, he's lurking. He's just lurking. Mate, just be careful. We'll we don't want to see your pecker just yet. Okay, so there we go. By the way, folks, for those that are in the chat, I just want to say thank you so much for your support. It's been great. I discovered that we're sitting on 570. What's it? 573 subscribers, and so we really appreciate that. Thank you so much for doing that. We are honoured and actually humbled to have you in our lives. And more to the point, Helping Hands for Cruising has grown immensely. Helping Hands for Cruising has in the order of 600 odd. What is it? 638 subs on it as we speak at the moment. So this is fantastic. We want to thank you all for your support, and we are really, really excited that has been on, that we've had that amount of fun to come in and have so many people join us. Absolutely brilliant. Philip is saying, depending on what my daughter wants, I think I will have a spare water bottle or takeaway coffee cup. Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. At one stage, he had to come back to Bentleigh to drop the bags in the car and then went back to the city. Whereabouts in the city was it? See you, Busby. Have a good one. Lorraine is saying, we had a nice chat with Radio Jonesy tonight. He was awesome. Yeah, Jonesy is a fantastic bloke. When did you chat with him? He was on. He must have come into one of your shows. But I'll tell you what, he's awesome. He was meant to be coming with us in 12 days, 23 hours and 15 minutes, but he's got himself a new job, so I wanted to congratulate him for that. And also, I wanted to say that he's actually going to be joining us on our group cruise in January of 2025. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. Najum is saying goodnight to Busby. Philip is saying at the exhibition building. Oh, that's cool. Jonesy is saying 573. Wow, I'm at 484 subs now. Good on you, mate. Oh, there you go. You're in there. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Like I say, mate, sorry you won't, mixed emotions. Sorry you won't be joining us, but really, really glad that you have got that job. And so we're certainly most definitely looking forward to having you on board the group cruise in 2025. And you are a lurker, chief lurker and wattlebosher. Nice to have you lurking there. Nice seeing you today, sir. So, Jonesy, whose show were you in that you had people lurking or talking with you? So that would be awesome to find out. Philip was saying there is also Melbourne Property Expo. Oh, that's a free event, March 25th to the 26th. You know what? The Property Expo is full of estate agents. They'll all try and list my my home that I'm leasing. You know, the one I'm renting, the one I'm living in. If they try and rent my house out, where am I going to live? You won't put me up, Philip. I know you won't. Seriously, I know you won't. But that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can handle it. Life stuff at the top. You know, what can I say? So, yes. So the group cruise that we're looking forward to we'll go to Fiji, Vanuatu, New Caledonia. If ever any of you have had the opportunity to go to Namia, it is awesome. Those of us that are this side of the pond, I mean, it is just one pretty place. Philip is saying, as long as I get the freebies, it will be good. Yeah, that's true. One thing that sucks about flying from America to Down Under is that you lose a whole day. I know that's just the way it is. But you know what, Nick? When you go home, you gain a whole day. It was on belt loops. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. I wish he would come up on ours once in a while. Facebook user, I will put you up my baby. Okay. Okay. That's an interesting one. Need to do something here. Whose baby am I? Oh, it's got to be. Well, let me see. Maybe it's Bonnie. If it's Bonnie, that's good. If it's not, I'm in trouble. Because who's my baby? Well, you never know. Stranger things could happen. Lola? No, I don't think it's Lola. I don't think Lola could do that. I know who it is. I know who it is. That's Mum. She is watching in Facebook. Well, You can ask your questions away, Mum. Ask your questions about 12 days, 23 minutes, and 25 seconds. Or 25 minutes, I think it is. Philip is saying daughter will be renting out her unit from August. The building has indoor pool, gym, rooftop garden, barbecue, and a party room. Includes 2-car spot. Google 12 Queens Road, Melbourne, to see the building. There we go. She's saying I'll always be her baby, considering I'm the oldest of the two, but I'm her baby. There we go. Typical mum. Tell you what, Mum, you're going to enjoy the cruise. Clocky is saying, just think of it as time travel. And you're right, mate. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. The 19 hours coming home was harder than the 19 hours going to Houston. Because we flew into Houston. Well, actually, look, let me explain this to you. We got onto the plane at 11 a.m. Melbourne time. We got off and it was the 29th of September. We arrived in Houston at 3 p.m. on the 29th of September. We had been flying for 15 hours. You work that one out. You work that one out. I mean, that gets me every time. But coming home, we left on, I can't remember the date, 27th? Yeah, the 27th of October. We flew 19 hours and got home on the 29th. You get that one. I don't get that one. Philip is saying, have you pre-purchased any tours for your cruise to Eden? All pre-purchases are cheaper than getting on board. Actually, we haven't got any excursions for Eden, but what we've all been there before, so it was just easy for us to get off and just have a wander around and then get back on board the ship. But we have pre-booked the first night at the steakhouse at the Crown Grill on board the ship, so that's going to be, we're certainly looking forward to that one. But Philip, why don't you guys look at joining us on the 2nd of January 2025. We're going on the Celebrity Edge, and it's going to be an awesome cruise. Do we have to book for the entertainment? No, not on Princess. If there's any entertainment, you just rock up, and then grab a seat, and then the entertainment starts. And when it's finished, you get up and walk out, and go and look for some more entertainment. So it's gonna be fun. We're gonna have a ball, a real blast. Nick says he has 10 days between the end of his Indian Pacific train and having to get to Southampton as of now. He's going to fly up to Frankfurt and visit relatives before he sails on the Queen Mary to New York. Seriously, mate? Oh. And then you won't come on our cruise. I mean, no, you're going to have an absolute ball. Seriously, you're going to have an absolute fun time. And the best way to do that, I would say, why don't you go catch a plane from Melbourne to Singapore, spend maybe a couple of days in Singapore, and then fly from Singapore into Frankfurt, and then spend time with the fam, and then go from Frankfurt into the UK, and then you can catch up with a couple of people in the UK. I know the governor's there, and I know Sarah and Glenn from Travel to a Taste are there. So I think you could have some really good fun time by doing that trip. That would be an amazing flight for you. And then you can just jump on the Queen Mary and in you go. Have you also booked your other main dining room dinners? We booked the same time each day, the same main dining room. It meant we did not have to wait in the queue. Um, no, we haven't. And what we generally do is we play each day by ear. So if we're waiting in the queue for 2 minutes, it's no big deal. But if we've got a book time, it just makes it easier. So we would generally book the time sometime in the middle of the day. Um, Found the app rather interesting. Using the app, that would be great. Um, Nick is saying definitely that way I can say I flew around the world in just one trip. Correct. Philip is saying there are three main dining rooms. Yeah, I know, but one of the dining rooms they keep specifically for early or late dining, whereas the other two are anytime dining. Um, so that's the main difference between the three, unless they've changed it since the pandemic. Um, and then there's also, well, it's going to be fun because we'll get mum and dad up onto the Lido deck, get them having a look at the buffet. Dad's quite fussy, so he'll actually pick what he wants, or rather, mum will pick what he wants for him. So the buffet could be quite good for them as well. Um, Lorraine is saying uh, you'll be like Amelia Hart, Nick. Um, no, I don't think Amelia Hart. There's somebody else. There's a bloke. Nick would duplicate the bloke, not Amelia. I can't remember what his name is. Anyway, we'll I'll remember it eventually. Now, um, if anybody's asking the question, why am I leaning to my right, is because for some reason my mouse has given up, my microphone has given up the ghost, and I'm using Ilana's microphone because that's the one that's working much better. So there we go. Technical difficulties, folks. Technical difficulties. Clocky is saying, pulling up to work. I will catch everyone later. Have a good day. Clocky, you have a safe day, mate. And thanks for listening in. We'll catch up with you later. Philip is saying, we also paid the extra for the sanctuary on sea days. They looked after us really well, and the sun decks were so soft. Yeah, we were wondering whether or not we would be prepared. I mean, we've done two Princess cruises before, and so we've been wondering whether it's worthwhile for us to pay the extra for the Serenity or Sanctuary. That's what it is, the sanctuary area. So, yep, see how we go. G'day, Troy. How are you? You came over so I could tuck you in, Sean. It is Betty by time, but I'll hang out for a little. Mate, thank you for hanging out. It's nice to see you. I actually saw you earlier on I think it was Mike's live, but I was just lurking. I was in the throes of some family catastrophes as well as work, so that's cool. Um, but I did see you up there, and as usual, you were as delightful as always. Uh, Lorraine's saying g'day to Clocky. Philip is saying it was $20 per person per day. $20. Oh, the last time we went on it was $90. But that's cool. Well, that might be worthwhile. Well, we'll see how we go. Um, yeah, we'll see how we go. Jonesy is saying, what's the name for the 2025 ship again? The name of the ship is called the Celebrity Edge. Celebrity Edge. Have a look at it. It's with the Celebrity Cruise Line. Um, it's actually a nice big ship. Traveling with special abilities. Hello, Troy Rapak. Jonesy, to give you an idea, what makes the edge so good is that on the side of the edge there is a platform that goes up and down. So during the daytimes, it'll sit up at the top, which makes it an extension of the ship as a bar. In the evening, it drops down to, I think it's deck 5, where it becomes an eating location. So it becomes a restaurant. And if they're doing any tender ports at all, then they drop it right down to the water's level, and they will embark and disembark passengers onto the tender ships so that those tender boats can get you in and out. It just is a rather fantastic setup. Troy is saying this live shows up coming on my device, but it is currently rolling. What do you mean it's rolling? I mean, are we spinning, or maybe it's your device? Troy's going howdy to Lorraine. Lorraine is saying magic carpet ride, Jonesy. Yeah, and it is what they call the magic carpet. So the the part on the side, the magic carpet, will go up and down depending on the time of day and so forth. Mum is saying that they're both very excited and looking forward to the first cruise. Also very happy to leave everything in my capable hands. Well, thank you, Mum. Thanks for the trust. We are going to have fun. And yes, Jonesy, it is awesome. If you have a look, you'll see, do some YouTubing on the Celebrity Edge. And you'll see all the restaurants, all the entertainment places, the bars, all that sort of stuff. There's just so much to do on that ship. It's huge. It's awesome. And you know, the good news is I love cruising, and the reason why I love it is it's one less thing for Ilana to do. You know, we just get on board the ship, we just unpack our bags, and there we are. We're there for the time. And she can just get up when she wants. She can go to bed when she wants. She can eat what she wants. She can drink what she wants. We can go and see the shows, whatever. And I always surprise her every time we go on a cruise. So I'm not going to say what I've done this time. Yep, sounds awesome. Nomadic Rat Pack is saying nothing is spinning in but my head. Why is your head spinning, Troy? You really need to hold your head still. It shouldn't be spinning. Your head should not be spinning unless you're thinking about coming on board the cruise with us. Troy, the thumbnail shows upcoming event, but it is currently being broadcast on the Down Under Cruises, but Helping Hands shows live. Yes, that's because I'm broadcasting on the Helping Hands for Cruising YouTube channel, as well as the Down Under Cruises YouTube channel. And I'm also streaming on the Down Under Cruises Creators Facebook page, as well as the Sean Ornella's Facebook page. And Troy's saying howdy to Radio Jonesy, which is cool. Yes, folks, sorry we missed our show yesterday with Radio Jonesy. I just had the most horrendous day yesterday. It was extremely long, and by the time I got home, I was ready for bed by 8 o'clock, which is basically what I did. I ate and went to bed. So it was a very long day. But today is an exciting day because only good things have happened. One, didn't have a class, so I could finish off the paperwork from yesterday. Two, my parents had a mishap, but the good news was the mishap, they were not injured, so that's great. So everything is fantastic, and I'm happy and excited. They're going to be ready for their group cruise. Sean, you're just all over the place, especially when I think of you, Troy. Ooh. I shouldn't have said that. Jonesy is saying good day to Troy. So there we go. Yes. So um, I thought Busby had already gone to bed. Is he still around? Seriously. Um, okay. So as I was saying, um, the good news for mum and dad, the good news is that on the Grand Princess, there will be, because where we are, we're going to be right next to or right near to the 24-hour cafe, the International Cafe. And the good thing about the International Cafe is, Mum, don't tell Dad, but they have some yummy chocolate mousse. They've got some coffee. They've got some nice, quick little snacks. Don't tell him they've got chocolate mousse, right? Because I know he'll get into it, and the sugar levels are high. But then also we'll go up to the level 14, I think it is, and on there you will see a the Horizon, which is the buffet, and in the Horizon Court, you'll be able to pick and choose whatever it is you want, and they generally have um, a very nice selection of foods that you can pick and choose. Uh, it will be great. I mean, there's just so much to do, so much to see. Jonesy did a live radio show on YouTube last night. What time? Um, and how did it go? I hope it went well, and I hope you got lots of people in there with lots of likes. So I'm asking for the likes as well. So yes, so I think we're going to have an amazing time. As it stands, when we get into Sydney, I'm going to be meeting up with one of my work colleagues, and once we've done that, we'll be meeting up with some friends as well. So that's going to be good fun. Troy is going, Lorraine, you need to call me and tell me about the bus thing you're talking about, but of course tomorrow. No, Troy, do it today. Do it right now while it's in your mind. Mum is saying she'll keep the chocolate mousse for herself. Yep. Well, that's yep to Troy, but I would have gone yep as well, because he can have chocolate mousse himself too. But there we go. And only fun. Only fun. Like, I mean, wake up in the morning and you go into the piazza and you might see a string quartet playing or a guy on a piano playing. There's a couple of bars around where you can get your alcoholic drinks, and then some of them, the mocktails are awesome. Those ones that are not actually cocktails but have no alcohol in them. They're awesome. So there's lots of opportunity for everybody to have some fun and enjoy. The food is just incredible. You walk on as a visitor and leave as cargo. What can I say? I mean, it's fun. It's fun, real fun, and you just chill out and relax. You know, lots of people, lots of people come on board, and they you meet people from all over the place, which makes it really interesting. Troy, chocolate mousse sounds great, but we had blueberry pie with berries and whipped cream on top for dinner. Mate, you start off with the chocolate mousse. You end up with the blueberry pie with berries and whipped cream. And then you move on to, I don't know, pick and choose whatever it is you want to eat. Like I say, you walk on as cargo and you walk on as a visitor and leave as cargo. I mean, look at this. Lorraine came with us on the Carnival Horizon, right? She walked onto the ship. We needed a wheelchair to get her off it. Lorraine is saying, I don't need a string quartet. I'm highly strung enough. You are. Very highly struck. No, um, that's why I'm saying. Lorraine walked on board the ship. We had so much food to eat, she needed the wheelchair to get off. In my case, it was the forklift truck. But there we go. Lorraine said, yes, that's for sure. So she agrees with me. It was fun. The horizon was fun, and we changed some lives there, and hopefully we'll be doing the same thing in on the Carnival Pride that's out there at the moment, as well as in 12 days. What's it saying there? 12 days, 20. Well, I think it's more like 12 days, 22 hours, and 49 minutes right now. That we'll be doing the same with mom and dad on board our cruise. As well as that, we've got. So it'll be Ilana and I, my sister, and a friend of hers that's going on board, and mom and dad that we know of. There was another couple that was coming with us, but that's still questionable. So we'll have to see what goes on. But it's a short trip for us. We go from here back up to Sydney, meet up with some family and friends, and then head back down, back home. So there we go. Um, Lorraine is saying, changed my life. I don't think I'll ever recover. Yep. Troy, Sean, I can't, wait a minute. Troy, I've just noticed something. You just spelt my name correctly. Anyway, I cannot wait to see some of the stories from the people on the current cruise when they come back. It will be so heartfelt and touching. You know what? I can't agree more. I had a chat with a Dewey earlier on today, and he was saying that he had some words um, with James and Cindy, and they gave them some ideas. So there's some room for growth there. So that's awesome. Crystal, you won the 728 million Fair Star points. You probably fell back asleep again, so welcome in. G'day, Sharon. I've been missing you, girl. How you going? How are you? How's you and the young Gary doing? Welcome aboard. Nice to have you in here. Ah, Sean, I'm sorry. I'll do it this way in the future. I wouldn't want you to get used to something correct from me. Mate, I know full well where it's coming from, but I appreciate it. I appreciate that you actually think of me by just mentioning my name is one thing. Spelling it might be something else. Anyway, there we go. Troy saying g'day to Crystal and then g'day to Sharon. Now, again, cruising scene. Scene has SCE in it, not double E. But that's okay. I'll put it down to your phone's inability to understand decent English. How's that go? Thanks for your advice earlier, Troy. Much appreciated. So, Troy, you must have told Jonesy some good stuff. Anyway, I'm really glad for you, Jonesy. Folks, Jonesy got a new job, let me say, and the new job he got um, is working in the ports in Tasmania, and he's going to have so much fun meeting a lot of people there. So good on you, mate. I'm really proud of you. Really happy for you. Lorraine says voice to text. Ugh. Troy goes, Radio Jonesy, my pleasure. That's what friends do. Correct. Sharon got up to take medicine. Not feeling 100%. Why not? What's going on, Sharon? Tell us all. Troy goes, Lorraine knows my weakness, my voice to text. We all know your weakness. It's the way you pronounce the words. All right, let's blame the technology. It's the fact that the technology cannot understand your words. How's that sound? Does that sound better, Troy? Did I make your day that way? All in the way of good fun. Well, the the thing with the Pride, the Carnival Pride, is that they are having a ball. They are all mingling. There's some great people on board that ship, um, and I think everybody's life will be so much more blessed, because people who do not have the same affliction as those who are on board as a recipient suddenly realize what it's like to be dealing with someone who has an issue, and that is awesome, because you grow from that. You learn. You know now, how can I better treat somebody? How can I help them do things better? How can I learn more about what they're doing, and how can I make their life that much easier? So that's just what I think. Lorraine says it is exciting. Um, and then Troy goes, Sean, well, maybe my voice to text would understand me better if I drove on the proper side of the road. Just maybe. Mate, I didn't go down that path. You did. Just saying, you did. But I'm happy to take you on board for that one. Um, yes. Was it? I was watching a guy doing a thing about metric versus imperial, and the guy who was actually doing it was an Irishman, and he was saying that the only country in the world that's still sticking with imperial is the country that was originally the one that tried to break away from imperialism. So why are they sticking with it in the first place? Um, because obviously it was in England that it was used as a measurement, but now when you look at metric, it's just so much easier. So the question is, why do you people across the pond still persist with something that nobody else is using? I don't know. I'll shut up. Besides, we're almost coming to the end of the stream anyway. Oh boy, such is life. Well, the good news, folks, is that we will be on broadcasting again on Friday night for those who are across the pond. It will be 10 p.m. your time. For those on our side of the pond, it will be, yes, we have a time change. It will be 1 p.m. our time, purely to fill in, because those Yanks can't handle, I mean, those people across the pond can't handle our time changes, so we'll do it for them. We'll be nice. So we'll go to 1 p.m. until it's our daylight saving comes out, then we'll go to 12 then. So in the meantime, our next show will be on Saturday, our time at 1 p.m. Troy goes, Crystal, you are awesome on the panel. You were awesome on the panel earlier this evening. You truly are a team player. Wow, them big words. Any rate, folks, time for me to hit the road. Thank you for popping in. Those of you across the pond, have an awesome day today. Those of you this side of the pond, please have a very pleasant evening. We shall catch you round the traps, and see you all later. Take care.